Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Home of Politics. It's my pleasure to have you. And if you are here for the first time, remember to subscribe, like my videos, share the comment in the comment section. Remember also to share it in other platforms. Do not forget to turn on the notification button so that you remain updated every time I upload my videos. Ladies and gentlemen, about the opposition right now, there is something that is fishy and it will come to pass. This is because we are witnessing a lot of leaders or politicians are in opposition, but they have no any formula that they are having very soon to form a coalition because they are waiting until that specific campaign period. I'm talking about leaders like Gachagua, Jeremiah Kioni, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua. We also have this DAP leader Eugene Wamalwa, among other politicians who have regrouped themselves into opposition. And something is boiling up nicely right now as we speak. Some of the people who are speaking on behalf of Gachagua are now bringing out differences, trying to force issues that Gachagua must and will remain the presidential candidate come 2027, whether people like it or not. This is a very clear picture that leaders who are aspiring to have that seat, for example, Kalonzo Musyoka, Fred Matiang'i, among others, will see dust, total dust during the day. Here is the tip.
Sio inamaanisha anasikiza ground. Sio inamaanisha anasikiza ground. Na ndio maana natangaza nikiwa hapa Murang'a. Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, wewe umerarua hii mtu inaitwa Kasongo, sasa anaenda Agikuruma. Wewe umerarua yeye mpaka mwisho, Wakenya wataki kumuona. Na hatuwezi kubali. Wewe umerarua yeye, wewe umemaliza yeye, alafu watu wengine wanaanza kusimama president. Hapana, lazima Rigathi kuwe kwa ballot kama rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Si mambo ndio hayo? You are the presidential candidate ambaye wewe watu wote wanataka kuchagua. Ya mwisho nikimalizia, mimi watu ya Kiambu wameniambia wanakuunga mkono, na wengi wameingia chama cha DCP, wako kule ndani, na wameniambia ukiandika manifesto, sababu ulituambia pale Nairobi.
Having heard what Senator Thangwa from Kiambu has just said, it tells a lot that the opposition or these opposition leaders, these politicians have a lot of things to do or a work to do in order to create unity amongst themselves. This is because as early as now 2025, these leaders who are Gachagua's foot soldiers have begun throwing negative words against their fellow opposition leaders, yet they told us that whoever these leaders will settle on to be the presidential or suitable presidential candidate to unseat President William Samoei Ruto, then so be it. But right now we are reading between the lines and we are seeing that those leaders who have realigned themselves with Rigathi Gachagua are using force. This is because he feels like he has the voice of the Mount Kenya people. He feels like he is having a lot of energy instead of working or collaborating with these other opposition leaders. We don't know about the feeling of these other leaders, but truly speaking, it's not a coincidence because whatever these leaders who are Gachagua's foot soldiers are speaking, it means that this is Gachagua speaking indirectly through his leaders. You may take it for granted, but you will see it coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can find out that there is early division as now that is being witnessed amongst these opposition leaders. Even if they pretend coming together, working together, that their main aim it is to send this president to Sugoi, then it will be very difficult if they start fragmenting themselves like now. You see, others are throwing words to others instead of sitting together, everybody strengthening their own party, registering a lot of members, strengthening their grassroots consultation. Yet they have embarked on separation because everybody is targeting that presidential seat or big seat that is coming in 2027. However, sometimes I wonder, leaders like Kalonzo Musyoka who are very able and they are matured in politics, why should they lag behind? Yet they have seen the red flags already. Nobody is supporting Kalonzo Musyoka to be the presidential candidate except Babu Wino proposed him alone among all opposition leaders. Imagine in front of you this Jeremiah Kioni, Secretary General of Jubilee, just announced openly during the homecoming of Matiang'i that Jubilee plus Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of Kenya, they have endorsed Fred Matiang'i as the presidential candidate for Jubilee. Yet Matiang'i has a different political party. This shows that nobody is caring about this Kalonzo Musyoka. Here is the tip.
PK kama presidential candidate, na sisi katika Jubilee presidential candidate wetu ni Matiang'i, ule Fred Matiang'i ambaye alikuwa anafanya kazi na Uhuru, kwa sababu akishikana na Kalonzo na wengine, sasa mambo itakuwa sawa sawa. Siku ya kwanza tunasema.
My good people, having listened to those two speeches, one of the Senator of Kiambu and the other one for Jeremiah Kioni, then we are sure that there's no peace within these leaders who are planning to unseat William Ruto. This is because if those leaders who are subscribing 100% to Rigathi Gachagua, they are now just thumping themselves. They are talking as if they have all votes in their bucket, saying that Rigathi Gachagua must be on the ballot because he is the only person who is fighting this president right now, while this Martha Karua is silent, while Kalonzo Musyoka is silent, while Fred Matiang'i is silent and away, plus so many other opposition leaders. Then it means that Rigathi Gachagua deserves to be on ballot 2027, whether you like it or not. And they will not allow any leader to come in that position, or they will not entertain any nonsense against Rigathi Gachagua being the presidential candidate come 2027. This clearly tells us that some leaders in this opposition do not have any place to be considered. The first leader that should be pitting himself or herself, this first leader is Kalonzo Musyoka. This is because if Jubilee is another bigger party, is endorsing Fred Matiang'i to be the presidential candidate. Yet, Fred Matiang'i is in a different political party, not in Jubilee. This shows that nobody recognizes Kalonzo Musyoka. And so, my advice to Kalonzo Musyoka should start as early as now, doing separate and secret meeting with President William Samoei Ruto, so that during election or after election, when this government will be dismantled, he be in a better position as he enjoys old age, at least as he eat the cake that others are sharing. And so being in opposition for all these years, yet other people are just coming from nowhere, forming their political parties, forming their group, and they assume you, yet you are working with them in all the road trips. You are even going in media, giving out briefing about how you people are together, but you are being left out. This shows that Kalonzo Musyoka will reap nothing in this coalition of Rigathi Gachagua with other leaders. And this shows that these people are very selfish because it is not yet campaign time. They have not settled on one presidential candidate. They have even not documented this manifesto of the DCP party. Yet they are just stamping. It means that there will be a very big separation, disunion, and later on, some of these opposition will reunite with the government, if not being independent. And so, my good people, this tells us that this issue of reuniting because of maybe sympathy, because maybe the former deputy president was impeached, or I don't know, because of some petty things, instead of focusing with the important things on these political parties, it tells us that we have a lot of things to to correct, because as much as right now Rigathi Gachagua has a lot of influence in Kenya on opposition politics and is being heard right now more than Raila Odinga now that he is in government, then things will not work the way people expect, because they are chest thumping and they are pushing away some of the leaders that they could have been working together. Talk of Eugene Wamalwa, talk of Kalonzo Musyoka, talk of Martha Karua. Like, that one is an arrogant speech that Senator Dhangwa put across, and we are sure that if he speaks, he's speaking on behalf of Rigathi Gachagua. And so, these leaders who are walking around telling us that they will join their hands to send William Ruto home in 2027 should be very careful, because anytime from now, Rigathi Gachagua with his foot soldiers watageuka from now anytime, because they want to dominate everything in opposition, in coalition, and everything that they are going to do. Otherwise, that is just my opinion. But if you have a contrary opinion about this analysis, send me in the comment section. Thank you for watching.